To the Winter Major Expert Division opening round, hole number 3. Here we're going to be playing a Thorn bounce up shot for the Albatross. We're using a Kingslayer, P3, side spin 3 plus wind 4. P3 plus 10% max on the drive. We're using a 5.5 top spin, 2.8 left spin. We are using center line touching the outside of the shot circle, left curl, and full controlled overpower. For our starting position, we're setting up at max rest, P3 max rest, APOC 5 and 6. You'll have the yellow ring touching the left rough at P3 max rest. APOC 7 is 2/3 of the red ring in the left rough. That's our spins, 5.5 top, 2.8 left. So yeah, APOC 7, 2/3 of the red ring in the left rough, and then APOC 8 is going to be 1/3 of the red ring in the left rough. And that's all at P3 max rest. Again, full overpower, left curl, so that the center line is touching the outside of the shot circle. So I have hit great lefts here with APOC 7. They have been safe. They have been close to the rough line on the left, but they have been safe, and that's with APOC 7. Even if you do hit a bad great or say a good right, you're gonna get caught up in the rough, but you still can easily reach the hole, and you can still have a shot at the Albatross, and you still walk away with easy eagle. So in my opinion, it's kind of worth pushing this drive a little bit to try and get it into Thorn plus yards, which is what I'm doing. If you wanted to play this with a higher power ball and slow down the needle on the drive, you can. Just remember that you're going to be further before you hit your plus yards. So if you're playing it with a P4 ball or a P5 ball, I would recommend backing off the top spin a little bit. So that way you can still set up in plus yards. Now, I would still use P3 plus yard numbers for my approach shot. P3 plus 30 is the elevation on the approach. Because it's not that much different. So if you're playing it with a P4 ball and you're set up at the +2, just use P3 in your app, the +2 plus yards to sliders that I'm going to give you, and you'll get the same result, right? If you go trying to change the power level, it's going to affect how this approach shot plays. We're playing the approach with 2 backspin, 1 left spin. Now, if you catch a funky bounce on the drive and you roll short or you roll long, it's possible that you could have to tweak the backspin here a little bit. But as long as my drives haven't been too bad, this 2 back, 1 left has been fine. What I would say is if you if you're still in thorn range but not quite to the hole with this spin set, then just remove backspin only as much as needed so that the tip of the ball guide is touching the front of the cup. Don't take off more than you need to, right? So you're going to set up at max and then always still use one left spin and then backspin as needed so that the ball guide is just touching the front of the cup. If you catch a really short drive and you are in grizzly range, it plays the same elevation, P3 plus 30% at slider. This is our offset. We want it to be just touching the front center of the cup. So that's a hair off, but that's fine. We don't want to be going through it. We don't want to be, halfway into it. We want to be just touching or just short. And you see here I'm in the middle of the plus yards, which is perfect. It's about as good as I can get there. Thorn plus yards. Plus 6 is 100, 5 is 98, 4 is 96, 3 is 94, 2 is 92, plus 1 is 90, plus the 0 is 88, minus 1 is 85, minus 2 is 83, and minus 3 is 81% slider. That's for your thorn. If you're in grizzly range, you're going to want to play it with 5 backspin, 1 left spin. You're going to want to have the tip of the ball guide just through the back of the cup and aimed at through the right center of the cup. So this is with a grizzly. 5 back, 1 left, ball guide going through the right center of the cup, just through the back of the hole. And you're going to count rings from min. And so it's still P3 plus 30 at slider. So rings from min with the grizzly work like this. For every 5 rings, you need to add 1% slider. So for the first 5 rings, it's 1 to 1 plus 1%. So 1 ring is 2% slider, 2 rings is 3% slider, 3 rings is 4, 4 rings is 5. When you get to 6 through 10 rings, then it's 1 to 1 plus 2% slider. So 6 rings is 8 slider. 8 rings is 10 slider, right? Same thing for 11 through 15 rings, right? That's plus 3%. So it's 1 to 1 plus 3%. So if you're 12 rings from min, it's 15% slider. Pretty simple to figure out. That'll give you your best chance at dropping. I have dropped the grizzly a few times. Most likely you'll see a grizzly shot if you hit a great ball or you just catch some funky bounce that I never saw. But very good opportunity at Albatross for hole number 3 here. So the spin set on the drive is 5.5 top, 2.8 left, P3 plus 10. On the approach, 2 back, 1 left, and P3 plus 30 unless you're using grizzly, in which case it's 5 back, 1 left. The only difference is the offset. Grizzly is offset right center and just through the cup. Thorn is aimed center cup, just touching the cup. Good luck. I hope you get the drop, and we'll catch you on the next one.